included. We'll cover all of these and more in detail, and we have a live video portion coming up where I'll actually be looking at each individual product individually, holding them in my hand, connecting things, taking them off. And here's what the Amazon page looks like, so you can kind of see some more of the attachments and whatnot here. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and go live.
Alright, so welcome to the live video portion of the Matrix Quick Connect system by Black & Decker. This is the 20 volt system, but before we jump into all of the details here, let's go over a few things about this Matrix Quick Connect system in general and how it might compare to some of the other choices that exist out there in the world here. So this kind of kit, I would say, is perfect for the consumer. It's perfect for you DIYers out there. It's perfect for you hobbyists that like to do lots of different projects around the house, or just for fun. It's perfect for even light business use, I would say, or light contractor use. It's a very simple toolkit, very easy to work with. It's small, compact, lightweight, and obviously the point that probably gets most people is price. It's priced very well, or it gives an extremely high value compared to some of the other alternatives. Is this the same kind of quality, or can these components take the same kind of abuse that you might be able to subject other items like some contractor grade Milwaukee or DeWalt products to? No, it's not. You're not going to get that out of this. And most people probably wouldn't expect that at this kind of price point. What I can say, though, is that this kind of kit is perfect for, over 80% of you out there that are trying just to do stuff around the house. Use it for, maybe some light business duties, or even just for, your hobbyist projects that you like to do. Okay, so now what you're thinking, though, is what exactly is this Quick Connect system, or how exactly does this work, and does this really, save me anything in the process here? So basically what the Quick Connect system is, and I'll demonstrate this for you in a minute, is that the Quick Connect system is basically a motor housing, kind of like you would think of your drill, with a battery pack attached to the bottom of it. No different there. But what is different is the head, or the attachment that you're actually using, comes off and lets you then connect other accessories to it. So this is great because it's a time saver. It lets you quick and easily change things. You don't have to have 27 different tools, available to you to do whatever you're trying to do. It's all right here with these, different pieces. You just pop the heads off, pop another on, and you're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to go through each of the, possible options that are included, as well as some different things that you can possibly add to it, or, make sure you have in your toolkit for use here. All right, so the simplest way to get started with this, I'm going to go ahead and move some of this stuff out of the way and make some room for our toolkit here, and then we'll get started with that. Okay, so the most basic way to buy the system is with the toolkit. So let's go ahead and open the toolkit up here. Okay, opening the toolkit up, for the video here can be a little difficult, since it's obviously facing you and I'm trying to pull stuff out of it over the lid, but that should be all right. We can still work with it. So what you get when you buy the actual base toolkit, alright, so you do get the base drill. So that's what this is called. This is called the base drill. And so what I was saying about how this system works is you've got the battery itself, which is a universal standard battery, which we'll mention in a minute. Okay, so Matrix, what they're basically saying by Matrix is here is your base drill unit. Okay, from that you then can attach and remove all of the heads. So they've kept their cost down by only needing to make a bunch of different heads, and then everything runs off this same standard unit. It's a pretty cool concept. I really like it. Just simply snaps right in and you're good to go. Button on the top here releases it. Just a quick press and pull at the same time, and you're done. And then you've got the battery pack, and you get one battery with this unit by default. There you go. And you're good to go. Okay. This is a nice lightweight drill. Pretty convenient, not too bad. I will show you the other upgraded drill if you'd like to upgrade to that one, but this is the base drill. Works great, nice, lightweight, and compact. Okay, so let's take this head off. Okay, in addition, you do have the impact driver, so you gearheads or automotive gearheads there will love the impact driver. Got that. Okay, I don't really use an impact driver much, so I can't talk too much to it. But then you do have the router. Snaps on just like that, and there you go. Okay, there we go. We've got the sander. Great, nice, I call this a mouse sander. Looks like a mouse pad, but yeah, they make the sanding pads that stick right on this. I'll show you those in a little bit, and it's a nice electric sander. So yeah, works real good. I have used that before. And one of my favorite tools here is the reciprocating saw attachment. This came in handy when replacing the laminate flooring in my office. We were able to shore up some door jambs and whatnot along between this and the oscillator tool, which is really nice as well. So that works really nice. Quick, easy change, just like the rest of the tools. And last but not least in this kit, you have the oscillating tool. This is really nice. There's variety of attachments for this. I'll show you those in a minute as well. But it's quick and simple. Just push it. You can slip your bit of choice on there and go to town. Alright, so that's that. The basic kit did come with one battery, if I recall here. I do have some extra batteries for things, but the charger is pretty simple, easy to plug in. It does take a few hours, I've noticed, to charge the batteries if they are totally empty, but as long as you keep a couple spares, it's no big deal. You can buy these batteries in a kit. I have a couple extras that I'll show you as well. These are the standard ones. The other newer ones are black and orange. It no longer has the white part on it. Alright, so that's that. So let me just go ahead and put all this back in here. Okay, so there is the standard toolkit. Before we go any further, I have had this and owned this kit owned this whole series of stuff for over a year now. I've used it to replace the flooring in my office, install some equipment at client sites, creating a real professional job. When you show up with a nice toolkit like this, everything's organized, people really love you and, appreciate your good-looking work. Okay, the next thing you'll notice is these Black & Decker matrix bags. These are an optional item that you can buy, obviously. They're about 20 bucks a bag, but they are a really nice, good-sized bag, and they hold a lot. So I've started to buy a couple of these to hold other stuff besides just this matrix equipment, but it does work very well. Alright, so we'll jump in here. Okay, so in here we do have the I'm going to call this the upgraded drill. It's pretty much the same thing. I don't think it has any, power differences or whatnot. But it does have a nice little LED here, which you can see. So when you actually press the drill button, you'll see this light come on. I don't know if you can see that, but it is kind of helpful when you are, in spaces that are kind of dark. So it does help to illuminate things. So I do really like that. That's one of the reasons that I brought the extra drill. The other reason too that I got a second one is that way if you're doing a project, you can have two different things going on at the same time, or not having to switch constantly back and forth. So I can be using the screwdriver, in addition to the drill, or I can be using the screwdriver component head here in addition to the trim saw that I'll show you in a minute, for instance. So you can be sawing and not having to change back and forth after every cut, so that does save time with your job. And since I think it was under $100 or so for the drill, 50 or $100 for a second drill. I figure that's a pretty decent price to pay for saving some time in your project. So I'd highly recommend getting a second unit as well for that. I think they sell the batteries in a 2-pack, if I recall. There's either a 1 or a 2-pack for the extra batteries. So stock up on the extra batteries as well. These are universal. These same batteries work in a ton of Black & Decker tools. My battery-powered sprayer actually uses this, and it's not Black & Decker brand. I think it's Chopin. But they also use the Black & Decker batteries. So that's great. They have trim tools, outdoor tools and whatnot that also use these batteries. So this is a universal battery. You can get it with a lot of different things. So buying these and having a few extra is no big deal. I feel like it's a great investment. Yeah, the rest of the tool does work the same. It's really basically just this LED light is the main difference here. So next we'll pull out the bit set. This is the Black & Decker bit set. I think it's got about 100 or so pieces. It has all of the your standard bit driver attachment, and it has some different drill bits. These are regular drill bits. These are a few masonry drill bits. It's got some Allen wrenches, which you'll probably never use, but it does have your screw bit heads. It does have some other square bit heads, and it even has some hex heads, which are also really useful. So instead of when you get all that furniture and other toys and whatnot that require hex heads, you can just use this with your power drill. Save yourself oodles and noodles of time as opposed to trying to use these Allen wrenches here to get stuff built. You've also got some other socket drivers as well in this kit. So this is a pretty good kit. I'll also show you another one that I use a lot of times as well. Alright, so back to some more of the accessories. When you buy some extra batteries and other kits, you get some extra chargers. So I've got a couple of those. This here is the trim saw attachment. So this is I guess it's a 3 or 4 inch blade. I'm not sure exactly. But this is really great. We use this to cut all of the laminate for my office and other projects around the house that we were doing. So it does work really nice. It produces a great cut. Slips right into here. Pop the one head off. Pop that head on. And as you can see, you can just go to town. There's a button, a slide to push. Okay. Sorry, I'm left-handed, so sometimes tools work a little different for me. There you go. So that's the trim saw. Disconnect that before we hurt ourselves or anybody else. Okay. Great little attachment. And most of these other accessories, anytime you're buying them individually, they are about 20 or $30 or so, give or take a few. So they're very reasonable to add and assemble, your whole collection of them. $500 or so, and you've got the entire set with all of the different, bits and accessories you need, which is a lot cheaper than buying some of these tools individually. Another extra battery. And then here is the reciprocating saw attachment. There we go. This thing works really well, really nice. Use that quite a bit. Reciprocating saws, if you've never used them before, are really nice if you've got nails or whatnot that you need to remove, or you put something up and then you want to go back at the end and trim it all off on an even level. Reciprocating saws are fantastic. What else do we have in here? They also sell an LED light. I got it just because it uses the same battery, so that's nice. So in the event of a power outage, you can use that, or if you're working in a tight spot or it's kind of dark underneath a sink maybe or something, you've got light. The nice thing is this little head is completely repositionable, up and down, so you can do it till you get it just right. I thought that was a pretty nice idea. So that's basically one of the only tools in this set that doesn't actually use the motor housing base here. So this is just its own, but this I think was about $20 or so. In addition, I have almost every head they make for it. The only other heads they make, they do have a tire inflator, but I've already got an air compressor, so I don't need that. They also have a hedger unit, a very small hedging unit that attaches to this as well for outdoors. Didn't fit my needs because I already have a big electric one, or a big battery-powered one. So I will say, in addition to the standard set, now I'm going to go ahead and show you some other things that I bought to enhance some of these tools that are used with these tools. They do, and before I go to that, they do give you a few different, depending on which items you're buying, they do include some blades or some different little accessories. But I did find that they were pretty inadequate and didn't give enough for what I was looking for, so I have gone back and added quite a bit of things. So we'll go through those. We're still in my main bag, and I definitely recommend you pick up a couple of these bags to keep your stuff organized. They do have some I got a few different pieces of sandpaper for the mouse. They have the mouse sander. They do have Velcro on the back, so they stick right to that. Good to go. I did get some extra blades. These were actually not Black & Decker, but these are, reciprocating saw blades. Always make sure that when you're doing projects that you do have safety glasses. This is especially true if anything you're sawing, using any kind of oscillator, reciprocating saw blades, routers, anything like that that has the potential. Always wear safety glasses. It never hurts. You'll never be disappointed that you're wearing safety glasses. So that is my reminder there. And when you are using any kind of saws, always make sure that your fingers are out of the way, especially if you have any younger children or any family working with you. Make sure that everybody's hands, toes, and everything are out of the way before you cut, and make sure that everybody's eyes are protected. A few dollars for some safety glasses never hurts. And always make sure you buy them. When I buy safety glasses, always buy them in 2 pairs. That way if someone is working with me, I make sure they're protected too. Safety first, guys. We really don't want to have anybody get hurt. These bags do come with a strap. There's a simple arm strap, so if you do want to use them, they do have them. It comes with it. I just don't have it attached. It's in here. Let's see. Where do we want to go next? I did buy some jigsaw blades. The one of them was a jigsaw. Did I call it the wrong thing? There is a jigsaw in here, or you can use the jigsaw blades with it. That does work. Alright, so that is the end of this bag. Now I do have some attachments on the outside here, so we'll go through those. I have even more safety glasses, so I've got four or five pairs of safety glasses. Like I said, it never hurts. They're cheap. It's always better safe than sorry in my book. Got some standard zip ties. I just use them on job sites a lot. Different cutting wheels and cutting discs that you can use with the router attachment. We've used some of those for sanding stair poles and whatnot. They've got a variety of different things you can buy, wire wheels and everything, and they work great with the router to get stuff done. Or even with you can use them with the drill heads as well. That works. I've even got a couple more little bags of these things. They have a variety of. You can even buy pads for polishing. So lots of stuff you can do with that. Not much to see, so I won't bother showing them. But they are there. I'll make sure anything that I mentioned here or mention, coming up in this review here, I will also go ahead and make sure that I have links to all of those in this YouTube video. If you're watching this on Amazon or somewhere that's not YouTube with all the links, you can go to cliffreviews.com, Cliff with one F reviews.com to find this video and find all of those links. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set this bag aside and we will grab the next bag. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get into my second bag here. So I'll show you all my goodies here. So these are the stuff that I use a lot of times, with some of these tools or in combination with these tools to get stuff done, wherever I happen to be at. So I've packed this up kind of nicely, I feel like. I've always got a tape measure on hand, a small level. I know a big one would probably be handy in most situations, but they don't fit in the bag, so it's always nice to have something available, even if you forget to, grab your other big tool sets. So here I've got a nice little kit. I'll link this up in the description. So basically, some of the stuff is falling around. These are all the different tips that you can use with the oscillating tool. You've got, things like for wood and soft metal, you've got basically some scraper blades, which are really handy. So instead of having to sit there and use a hammer with a scraper, the oscillating tool takes care of a lot of it. Same thing here, we've got diamond tipped, scraping blades. Works really good with grout. We've got a half moon blade for grout. They've got some small, this is like a super small detail sander blade. This is not a Black & Decker item, I might say, but it does work with a Black & Decker tool set. So I will make sure I link all of these kinds of things in the description for you. So if you're considering that, it'll be there for you to get to. And I highly recommend it. They do give you 2 or 3 different blades. It just didn't seem adequate. And I like to make sure I have what I would need, possibly in the future. So buy it all up front and be done with it later. Okay, so that is that kit. I needed a hole cutting saw, so I normally carry a bunch of bits in here. So that's that. I have a Milwaukee set here. This is basically for the. I'm drawing a blank on what kind of blades these are, but these are for the big deep bore blades. Drill bit sets for your door locks and other things like that. There was the router in the kit, so I did buy some tungsten carbide router bits. I have not used them, but I wanted to make sure I have them in case I do in the future. Alright, in addition, like I said, I had my big 40 volt DeWalt kit first, so I have some DeWalt bit sets, but I do carry them in here. It's nice to have all your bits together. And this is a lot more than what came in the original Black & Decker set. And then we've got another screw bit set here with some more bits as well. Okay, so that's that. I keep a nice little speed square in here. It's nice to have a good straight line for some smaller measurements and whatnot when you need it. Don't forget to have a pencil handy when you're doing stuff. I've got a stud finder and a razor blade handy. Always good to have. A whole little set of vice grips. You never know when you need them. Make sure I have a link to all of those. Alright. A couple little projects that I've done. I needed a pair of sideways screwdrivers, so I have a set of those. Of course, they don't go with the drill per se, but hey, what the heck? Might as well keep them handy when you need them, right? Here's one. Here's one tool that I find useful a lot of times when I'm building, furniture, kids' toys, office desks, anything. Especially a lot of those things with those that need those Allen wrenches. Then it always seems like when you're trying to put a drill in there with a bit in it, it just doesn't quite fit right because you're at the wrong angle and you're too close to whatever it's doing. So this is actually a flexible, driver here. So it allows you to put your bit in the top. You put this in the drill, just like anything else, and it does have a degree of flex to it, so you can kind of keep your drill, at an angle, and this can still be flat. So that does work. I will say you can't bend these too much while you're working with them, or you will break them. But they are nice to have, and they do work really well when necessary. Cable cutter, I use this all the time with client sites here. Cable ties, zip ties, you can just chop off the excess. Dike, same kind of thing. And a crescent wrench, nice to have. Got a whole little set here of channel locks, needle nose, regular wrench, pliers, and a bigger set of pliers. So that is my whole bag there. Ooh, almost forgot. It's always nice to have a putty knife in there in case you need to, get under something or pry something up. So I keep one of those around. Okay, let me go ahead and put all these back in, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we have just a few more things to show you or tell you about. I didn't bring all of these items out, but I have a couple little tips or tidbits to show you or tell you about. With these or with any other power drill, there are lots of neat accessories you can buy. There's like scrub brushes that have a bit head shaft on them, so you put that in, and then you've got a scrub brush attached to it, so that makes quick clean out of grime on things, on your wheels, in your sink, on your tile, those kinds of things. They do make wire brush attachments for your oscillating tools or reciprocating tools. So those can come really handy in projects and save you a quick cheap wire brush on there, and you've saved yourself oodles and noodles of time in your repair job. Don't forget about this little tool. It's very, very handy. Let's see. Last but not least, what I find a lot of times is having the right tool or having the right bit can save you a lot of time. If you're buying tools like this, it makes sense to try to use them for everything. And one of the ways I accomplish that is the Tecton Every Bit Kit. I've had this for actually longer than I've had this Black & Decker drill set, or even the Black & Decker drill bit kit in there. But this Tecton kit is gear stuff, precision stuff that's small, electronical items, watches, PCs, laptops, tablets, those kinds of things. It's got stuff for just stuff around the house, your home, your auto, sheds, whatnot, screwdrivers. It does have 14 different bit types. So I'm going to read them right off here. Flathead, Phillips head, hex head, star, square, tamper hex, tamper star, clutch, posi, Torx, spanner, tri-wing, nut, and pentalobe. So half of those you don't even really hear about on a normal basis, but it has them all. So this really is a great kit. It comes in a box. I always keep it in the box, just because this doesn't always give me enough information or let me spot it easy. So I'll show you this to you. It does come with its own few different drivers and whatnot here. But normally I just use the actual bits themselves for whatever I'm doing, plug them into the little driver shaft, and then plug that right into the drill and go to town. So this really does work fabulous. I highly, highly recommend a good bit set that has lots of different bits for whatever you're doing. So if you do something a lot, make sure you get a bit set for it. You will save yourself a ton of time. So that concludes my review of the Matrix Combo or Matrix Quick Connect system from Black & Decker. I will say this is a fantastic drill. I love that it's nice and lightweight. The batteries last a long time. They're very powerful. You can easily drive 3-inch screws into wood or anything else that you're trying to do with it. Without a problem. It's a great tool for around the house. I use it a lot. I can't recommend it, enough. And I would highly recommend that you get it, add it to your wish list. Definitely consider this for your next project or next, purchase. If you have any other questions, post them in the comments below, and I'll definitely give you a shout back. Thanks so much. And again, for any of the links or any of these products mentioned, go to cliffreviews.com if you're not watching this on the YouTube video. cliffreviews.com, cliff with one F, reviews with an S.com, and you can find the video there and find all of the links below. Thanks a lot. See you next time.